welcome back to the Light I See. I'm your host, Tommy Cunningham. Today's video, what we are planning to talk about is I am planning to talk about my top 4 tips for using like a radio scanner or like a walkie-talkie at like a single job. Because we all know that at jobs they are really strict about their radios. Because some jobs don't use them, some jobs don't care, and some jobs I get in trouble with them. Now, first things first, I'm going to give you guys a little backstory about how I got started with radio scanners and the reason why. So it was about 2 years back. I was about 21 years old, and I moved up there to Bloomington, and then after that, I was starting to get in love with radio scanners because I started looking at this page called RadioReference.com, which Radio Reference has a wide amount of like radio frequencies. And then after that, I heard a call over there at my apartment, which was really, really, really interesting. The call was about 30 minutes south where I lived. I think the ambulance was going on standby. Plus, plus then, plus then after that, once I started listening to the radio scanner and I started bringing it to different places, like the following, like number 1, Churchill Downs, number 2, like for instance, I try to bring it to Holiday World, but they don't allow radio frequencies, and I understand why. Because you're getting on a ride, and then after that, which they pretty much changed their radio format now. If you guys ever want to use it, it's now turned into DMR, which DMR stands for Digital Mobile Radio. Like then after that, you guys have like a couple of decisions. Like number 1, if you guys are wanting to try out an analog system, the analog system that I recommend, which is slowly gone moving, is the French Lick system. It's called Blue Sky Casino, and that was my first ever radio scanner frequency that I listened to, but a little bit on the way, going on, let's just say, down there to Horseshoe, Southern Indiana, in that area, I started listening to the New Albany radio system. And that's where I started to find out, hey, why don't I try out a couple of their local frequencies? And then that's the idea of I got started using the Uniden Home Patrol 2, because that radio scanner right there actually gets better signal of like different towers in different areas, which I think, why not don't I try to listen to that down there in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, instead of my Uniden BC125AT, which I started listening to that, and honestly, then after that, I have to say that there were some different radio scanners inside that area that I was like, hey, why don't I listen to? Like, for instance, I understand that they have a lot and a lot of NXDN radio frequencies because that area is just a small area. So here's like the radio format of that area. You first got the land area communications, which is kind of a communications which you guys use for like your local fire, your local police, and your local. Now then after that you guys have like a couple of decisions. Now a lot of these places are turning into P25, which is Project 25, Phase 1 or Phase 2. Now, an area that I thought which was really, really, really interesting, and I was glad that I got to listen to that area, was like the Myrtle Beach area, which I honestly wish that I could have brought my Uniden Home Patrol 2 to there, because there was a lot more P25 communications. But luckily, inside the area, like where we were staying at, I got like the Cabra Creek area. I also got a little bit of their airports. Like when we were like taking off and stuff, like I could listen to that. Like for instance, like in another area that I could find out that I could listen to, like once we got over there to the Chicago Midway area, was like their local communications repeater, which I almost thought, hey, why don't I go in to their different areas and why don't I go ahead and listen to their communications? But get this, most of their communications there at the Chicago Midway International Airport, they use like this Digitalk, which is like their NXDN radio, which is a NextReg communications, which if you guys go to Carroll County, Kentucky, Carroll County uses that like all over their county except for the city of Carrollton, which you guys could probably pick that up like on another radio scanner, which is like from Indiana, which I think, why not don't we listen to that there in Indiana better than Kentucky? Like then after that, I brung me my radio scanner over there to Kentucky, and my mom actually said, Tommy, why don't you leave your radio inside the car, because you already know that they don't allow radio scanners at their different places. Now that's the idea. If I thought, why not don't I listen to the dispatch of like the Grant County Police Department, which I honestly did. And I kind of feel really, really, really excited that I did. Now when me and a couple other of my family members went over there to Knox County, Indiana, and visited the Indiana Military Museum, they got like a couple of radio communication which I thought which was really interesting. Like for instance, like number one, I got a lot of dispatch from like their local sheriff's office. I also got a lot from the Daviess County sometimes, and also some from Gibson County, which is a county right below them. Now then after that we got us a couple of decisions. Like number one, we could listen to the radio communication out of Butler County, which is over there near Evansville. Or we could listen to Knox County, Illinois, which got like a lot more different communications. Like for instance, they use the Starcom 21. They use like the Indiana P25 system as a backup. There is like a lot, and I mean lots of different communication. And I thought, why not don't I listen to that and see like what's in the world is going on with that radio feed. So like when like then after that we were going on over. Now then after that we were going on over to like the different radio scanners. Like when we were going down there to Kentucky, I was like, why don't I listen to the Kentucky State Police? And luckily I did. And then and then after that I was really, really, really just excited that I got to listen to that. Now for instance, here's my first tip. Always do research on the county that you're doing the radio scanner. And number two, make sure you guys are in to know that there are radio scanner policies. Number three, if you guys bring them like to a big area, you guys can hear like lots and lots of communication. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Today's video is brought to you by RadioReference.com, the worldwide array of radio frequencies. And if you guys need help, go on www.radioreference.com. They have a free login and use everything. Alright guys, that's it. Have a great day and I'll see you guys later for another video.